Baroness Saida Varsi, Minister without portfolio, Chaudhry Mohammad Sarwar, four-time member of British Parliament, a very good president, Pakistan Muslim League and Great Britain, Barrister Abed, a very fiery State Secretary, Honorable Ministers and members of National Assembly and Provincial Assembly of Punjab, very honorable British Pakistani businessmen, media men, lawyers, great individuals, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. It's really a great honor to be here this evening, and I'm deeply humbled by this wonderful poetry recited by Barrister Abed. I cannot say and add anything on top of this except that may Allah Almighty grant all of us strength, vision, guidance, and commitment to put every word we said into action. Because 63 years down the line, we have heard and we have made very passionate, fiery speeches in Pakistan, outside Pakistan, but miserably failed in terms of implementing Qaid-e-Azam's vision and Iqbal's philosophy. I think I want to move away from a routine discussion this evening because I am genuinely inspired by a wonderful speech by Baroness Saida Varsi, and she has brought up some telling questions which need to be answered by all of us fairly squarely. Chaudhry Sarwar made us brief but a very important speech. And of course, Barrister Abed, with his outstanding performance, obviously moved all of us. Now let me give you one example, ladies and gentlemen, for your consumption this evening. And that would give you a very clear and a transparent view about what's happening in our motherland. If you go to Karachi, go to Lahore and go to Quetta and go to Peshawar and other places, of course, you will find places, houses built to the tune of billions of rupees. Palatial houses both in the government sector and in the private sector. Colonies for high and mighty. The richest of the rich in Lahore, and you can name those colonies and it will not end. And these colonies, they house the best basic amenities and facilities for those paltry few who do not make even 2% or 3% of the total population of Pakistan. And the best of life at the doorstep, best of deliveries at the doorstep. very vast majority of Pakistanis, even I speak, go without a shelter worth the name, without basic needs of life. So there is Pakistan for the rich and Pakistan for the poor, and nothing in between. I just want to mention it to you this evening for your consumption, that just 4 months ago, we launched a housing policy scheme in Punjab by the name of Ashiana. 5 schemes are already under implementation in Lahore, Jhelum, Faisalabad, Sahiwal, and Sargodha. The one in Lahore is at a very advanced stage. By the end of the month, inshallah, God willing, we will hand over keys to the lucky ones through a very transparent balloting system. On 26th of July, this ceremony hopefully is going to take place. I visit this place almost every once a week to ensure that our party's vision, Mian Shahbaz Sharif's philosophy, is translated in letter and spirit. Now, this is what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. Through this balloting, I know for a fact, personally, that a very small shopkeeper is a beneficiary through this transparent policy. A widow, a teacher, a family of a shaheed, a cobbler, an electrician, a laborer. These are the people who are going to occupy houses in this Ashiana. And this Ashiana is going to be with all those basic facilities like sewage system, water supply, electricity, high school for girls, for boys, park, cricket ground, hockey ground, a technical school, and so on and so forth, and beautiful roads. I cannot remember even one scheme of this quality and kind in Pakistan's 63 years history. For a common man, for a widow, for a double orphan, for a tarkhan, for a cobbler. We have heard schemes for rich people, for the politicians, for premiers, for presidents, generals, judges, police officers, trade and commerce people, and beyond that, it is all darkness. And these people constitute 97 or 98% population of Pakistan. And then, when we hear from Baroness Varsi that the Shahbaz Sharif Sahab, second generation of British Pakistani, will have some connectivity with their motherland, with their khalus and khalas and pupis and pupos and their age groups. But what about the next generation? Will they have that kind of connectivity? The answer is, it's all up to us. If we ensure Pakistan as a growing country, a country having peace and tranquility, a country with the industrial expansion, a country with a lot of job opportunities, a country with terrorism breathing its last, a country where militancy is buried for all time to come, a country where resources are finally distributed with justice and fair play, a country where poverty is eliminated. I guarantee you, Baroness, not third generation, but 20th generation will have very strong connection with Pakistan. But if we allow things to slip down the road like this, where corruption is galloping, where we find huge pride in accepting a few crumbs from our so-called friends, and that too soaked in innocent blood of Pakistanis, at huge conditionalities, huge political strings attached with huge dictations and orders for do more. And yet we take pride out of this and forget that everlasting lesson that no nation or society or an individual can become prosperous if he or she does not learn how to work hard, sacrifice, and through undying efforts make one's way through. Now here we are, for 63 years, we have been now addicted on these foreign grounds. I have no problem, and we have no problem with the wonderful cooperation with Great Britain, with the wonderful people in this country who have known that part of the world for centuries, who have, well, as history tells us, ruled that part of the country with sagacity, with knowledge, with prudence, and attentiveness. They understand how to be kind, how to be friendly, and how to be concerned about our concerns. And believe me, I say this with total sincerity at my command, that I find British governments, all governments, and British people, British Pakistanis, very sincere and friendly towards Pakistan. Here is the example: the previous government, Labour government, came out with a wonderful program through DFID to support Pakistan's education program, to support Pakistan's healthcare program, to promote technical skills in Pakistan, and also advise us on various other sectors of society. And I find myself not only extremely obliged, but very comfortable working with our British counterparts. In the last 4 days, thank you very much for organizing this wonderful trip, and without your personal intervention, this couldn't have been a success story. I think the high point of my visit to to this great country, of course, wonderful meetings with Home Secretary, with Andrew Mitchells, and other very, very important dignitaries. And that allowed us to have a very frank exchange of views without mincing words. But I cannot resist to tell and share with all of you that my high point was visit to that school, Sally Park, Technical School in Birmingham, day before yesterday. And there, I think I enjoyed my 5 hours wonderfully. I found the true nature and spirit of British vibrant society. I found how this society got matured over the span of the last 500 years. How, through a process of filtration, you have come to respect humanity. You have come to this conclusion that without discriminating between Muslims, Christians, Jewish, and other believers, you give them equal opportunity to progress in society, to show their wits, to show their brains. I found we knew, we read, and we also experienced, but that was a personal experience and a wonderful experience, not only my experience, but my team's experience, that 70% of girls wrapped with scarves, coming from Pakistani origin, being imparted highest quality of technical education, free of cost by outstanding British teachers. Can we replicate this in Pakistan? I want to ask Chaudhry Sir. Can we replicate this in Pakistan? I want to ask Rana Sanaullah. Can we replicate this in Pakistan? I want to ask Kamran Michael, the first in history's, Pakistan's history's finance minister to have brought about. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask all of you who have very, very strong roots in Pakistan, can you manage this in Pakistan? I think it will be very difficult to answer this question fairly and frankly. That in a classroom in Lahore, or in Karachi, or in Quetta, or in Peshawar, 70% Christians, 10% Muslims, and 20% from other nationalities, and great Pakistani teachers teaching them. This is what Islam told us 1400 years ago, that you have to be very respectful to mankind. You have to show benevolence and be very kind to them. Those who are downtrodden, those who have been less blessed and less fortunate, be very kind to them. And do not quarrel. And if you pardon somebody, this is a great quality of your character. This is what Islam has been, in line with other divine religions. But to what extent have we practiced our religion? And this example, glorious example in Birmingham, for all of us, was a reminder, stark reminder. And I think, can you believe that our daughters being educated over there with this kind of atmosphere, highest quality of knowledge, technical knowledge, free of cost? Can we impart this kind of knowledge to our own daughters in Pakistan? And imagine the kind of resistance which is being given to this kind of free process over there. I think this is a narrative I am carrying back to Pakistan. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, because this visit has been my hallmark to this great country. I'm not going to talk about investment in Pakistan. We all know it will inshallah happen one day. But today is a day where you have to struggle against the forces of evil. Those dragons, those forces which are out to destroy Pakistan. And they are within and without. Yesterday I was in the Foreign Office and other places, and I was very honored and privileged to meet great British dignitaries who were very frank in the discussion and showed a lot of commitment to support Pakistan. And I thank them for all what they're doing for Pakistan's well-being. And I said all what I've just said to you. And there was a point of discussion that why Punjab has denied itself from a particular kind of foreign aid. And my answer was that Punjab has nothing against anybody. Not only Punjab, but Pakistan. And we want to be friendly with all the peace-loving countries of the world. And I said this, ladies and gentlemen, I am repeating this in front of you at the cost of repetition. I said, Mr. Minister, beggars can't be choosers. And this is true. We are a poor country. How can we deny our people from something which is going to benefit a child in Rahim Yar Khan, a girl in the valleys of Mehran, and a young boy, out there, the snow-covered mountains of KPK and Balochistan. How can we deny a dying girl from medicine? How can we deny a young man without any job in his hands to be busy about, to become productive hand of society through economic activity? How can we deny our millions of children from technical education? Because Pakistan is a country with 60% of its population very youthful. And if we are not able to harness and channelize these energies into productive activities, they will all fall prey in the hands of terrorist groups, which are out to destroy Pakistan. But I did say awareness that beggars also have some kind of dignity. And if we are treated not as a human being, but somebody or a state, not as an independent state, where our integrity, our honor, our independence is being compromised day in and day out, then we will certainly deny ourselves from that kind of aid, which is contaminated. We will suffer hunger, but we will not eat. Humble pie. I think Pakistan today is facing the biggest challenge of its history. It's a very hackneyed term. We have heard about it. I mean, over a decade, Pakistan is in dire state. Pakistan is great difficulty. But believe me, ladies and gentlemen, if ever there was time that this hackneyed term was relevant, it's today. It's today. Corruption is rampant. Terrorism is knocking at our doors, killing innocent people. People by the millions, hapless, teeming millions, don't have basic needs of life. I just 15 minutes ago mentioned to you about those palatial houses occupied by high and mighty in Pakistan, be they landlords or businessmen or whatever, and huge population going without shelter and medicine and education and justice. How can this society then survive? How can this be possible that on one hand we hold our nuclear armaments and in the other hand we hold a begging bowl? Can they go together for infinite time? It's out of question. Anybody could be out of his mind to even assume for a second that begging bowl and nuclear assets will go simultaneously together for all time to come. Either we'll have to break our begging bowl, or God forbid, our strongest point could be compromised. So the way forward is, and the answer is that we have to, under all circumstances, in cooperation with global world, in cooperation with our friends abroad and within Pakistan, start learning how to stand on your own feet. Without that, the rest of the history I'm telling you. But unfortunately, the lesson of the history is that we don't learn our lesson of history. Because 3 years ago, with great hopes and great aspirations and fond desires, we thought, here is the vehicle of democracy, which is going to now be the beacon of light in Pakistan, which is going to kill darkness and spread light all over, which is going to provide empowerment, which is going to provide job opportunities, which is going to provide ample opportunities for education and secure all those exposed segments of society exposed to all kind of illnesses and diseases, which will provide an opportunity for equitable distribution of resources. And 3 years down the line, things are as remote as ever. Things are as bad as ever. Now, who's it for? The system? Democracy? Well, we only copied British Westminster democracy in Pakistan. And if British Westminster democracy is paying huge dividends, why can't we have those dividends in Pakistan? So I think the answer to this question is that it is not all about systems. Systems with some variance in degree. Here and there, they work, they are operational, they are functional. It's all about leadership. If, let's say for example, South Korea 40 years ago, under General Park, had martial law. Now don't misconstrue me because I know great Democrats are sitting here. I should not misconstrue at all. I'm just giving you an example to understand this point very closely, from close quarters. That 40 years ago there was a general in South Korea, General Park, who gagged horses, sent to prison by thousands, and all kind of freedom was absolutely trampled under the feet. And then marched towards economic development, and then the last 20 years we have seen democracy in South Korea in full swing. And one example is that the son of the sitting president was sent behind the bars a few years ago on charges of corruption, something you could have never imagined in your remotest imagination 30 years ago. Now if martial law were to be a recipe for these ills, then Pakistan had 4 martial laws, which would have been 4 times more prosperous than South Korea. What happened? South Korea touched the apex of glory, and Pakistan was halved in 1971. Just remember. Look at China, look at Russia. Both had communist regimented regimes. Russia fell under its own heavy weight, and China is a rising star. Both had the same system. If it was all system-based recovery, success or failure, both should have gone down or both should have gone up. The answer is, ladies and gentlemen, its system, of course, are very important, but it's all about operators, all about drivers, all about leaders, political leadership which make or break it, not the systems. That's my belief, and I believe in Pakistan, if we have to move forward and come out of this quagmire, come out of this very, very dangerous situation, we will have to change that corrupt leadership in Pakistan under all circumstances. I'm not going to, by saying this, I've just summed up our motherland's present precarious situation. But certainly I'm not going to wash dirty linen in front of you. When we go back tomorrow, then inshallah, we'll take up things we left a week ago. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, let me say and share this with you with total conviction. At my command, things are bad, no doubt. Things are very serious, no doubt. Challenges are among us, no doubt. But by God, Pakistan nation has this capacity, has this tenacity, has this buoyancy that inshallah, with unity of thought and action, with hard efforts and sacrifice, we will not only meet this challenge, we will inshallah, through untiring efforts, we will, by bringing in reforms, by changing this corrupt system, we will inshallah, one day soon, find our lost place in the common of nations. Parents, thank you very much once again for your wonderful hospitality. So this platform is
a wonderful platform, and we are providing full support to this platform, which means nothing except providing help to Pakistanis overseas, getting those illegal occupations of land and property from illegal occupants. I mean, quickly and speedily. This had become a norm in the previous government under General Musharraf's watch, who was a champion of Pakistan first. Look at him. Who is saying what? I think I don't need to discuss that character. It's part of history now. And today, we have to deal with today and deal with tomorrow and the after. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very grateful to you for showing patience, for my sermon, it's not a sermon, for my humble submissions. And before I give permission, I would like to recite Bars. What a wonderful teacher he was. है सदाकत के लिए जिस दिल में मरने की तड़प, है सदाकत के लिए जिस दिल में मरने की तड़प, पहले अपने पैकरे खाकी में जान पैदा कर, है सदाकत के लिए जिस दिल में मरने की तड़प, पहले अपने पैकरे खाकी में जान पैदा करे और फूक डाले ये ज़मीन व आसमान मुस्तार और खाकिस्तर से आप अपना जहां पैदा